Salute everybody. I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Barack Obama, could he be facing criminal charges soon? I know. Let me just read this first comment and then we're going to get into this demonstration. Sharon says, that's funny as you know what. What people do to get likes and money. Good luck with this BS. Well, let's find out if it's BS or let's find out if it's really going on. Salute to the moderators, salute to my replay gang, and salute to the chat. I will come down and entertain the chat. I see everybody in the chat. Let's just jump straight into this demonstration, y'all. Drop a one in the chat if you think Obama could be facing criminal charges soon. Drop a two if you feel like, nah, Shank, Obama ain't going to have no charges against him. Let's go. Coco says, if Trump don't go to jail, why should Obama? I feel you, Coco. Let's jump into this demonstration, y'all.
So, on his very first day in office, President Trump signed an executive order announcing that the federal government would, quote, take appropriate action to correct past misconduct related to the weaponization of law enforcement and the weaponization of our intel community. No person alive today knows what it's like to have the full force of the federal government turned against you better than Donald Trump. Well, he does not want any other Americans to have to go through what he went through because President Trump, frankly, has been bent to hell and back. And it all started at the beginning of his first term with the totally phony Russia hoax. We spent 3 years unpeeling every layer of that onion on this program with John Solomon and Greg Jarrett and Sarah Carter and others. Today, we're learning another shocking detail about the early days of that sham investigation. We have a newly declassified report prepared for President Barack Obama back in December of 2016, right after Donald Trump won, specifically stating, quote, Russian criminal activity failed to reach the scale and sophistication necessary to change election outcomes. And they were talking about one place in Chicago. Now, the deep state did not like the assessment. That was put together by career people, rank and file people. But when the politicized people around Obama got it, guess what? It changed. They never let Obama see it. Then when he asked them to prove that Russia meddled in the election, they just simply complied and they turned it on its head. And frankly, in many ways, you can say they polluted what was real intelligence and they turned it into poison. And they did it to destroy one man. Is it any wonder that there are now reportedly criminal investigations, this conspiracy investigation by Kash Patel underway, and it specifically names Comey and Brennan. All right, here to give us all the details and bring us up to speed with reaction, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. She declassified this report yesterday, had details. You know, I have this creation of the Russia hoax that you put out on X, that you posted on X, and I'll put it up as you're speaking here. What is amazing to me as I've gone through this cache of documents you've released is they concluded just the opposite.
Let me just jump to the chat real quick, y'all. Tudor says, are all the white people having a meeting to take all powerful, successful men down? Cause what the F? Salute, Eartha. Miss Cookie says facts. I see you, Michelle. TT, Shell, Valerie. Miss Cookie says, what is going on now? Big Mama says, too, don't even know why they messing with him. Tanya, I see you, Tanya. Hannity is. I see you, Mel. What is the world coming to? All right.
They concluded there was no problem And then all of it, that was the rank and file. These were career people in the intel community. They gave honest assessments. Then all of a sudden, it ends up in the hands of the leadership, the deep state, as we call them. And what happened to it? Can you explain what the process and what these documents reveal?
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sean. This is such an important issue. And I just want to start by saying that this is an issue that is important to every single one of us as Americans. This is not a partisan issue. It has to do with the integrity and the strength of our democratic republic. And it lays out this over 100 documents that you're referencing that I released, declassified and released, spells out in great detail exactly what happens when you have some of the most powerful people in our country directly leading at the helm, President Obama and his senior most national security cabinet, James Comey, John Brennan, James Clapper, and Susan Rice and others, essentially making a very intentional decision to create this manufactured, politicized piece of intelligence with the objective of subverting the will of the American people, who in November of 2016 delivered a historic victory to President Trump, defeating Hillary Clinton. And President Obama and his team, their goal was to essentially not accept the decision of the American people, and to use this manufactured, politicized intelligence as a means to enact what would become essentially a years-long coup against President Trump. You have gone into great detail over these years of what the effects of this document and this decision have resulted in. Obviously, a years-long Mueller investigation that cost taxpayers almost $40 million, 2 congressional impeachments, endless smears and attacks against not only President Trump, but his family. He had senior members of his team who were investigated, some arrested and jailed. We had heightened and increased tensions between the United States and Russia. The list goes on and on about the consequences of President Obama and his senior cabinet members politicizing intelligence once again, and I say these words very clearly, to enact what was essentially a years-long coup, subverting the will of the American people in that election in November. Now, you referenced this President's Daily Brief document that was drafted for President Obama in early December that reaffirmed what the intelligence community professionals, as you say, had been assessing for the previous 6 months leading up to the election, which was that Russia neither had the intent nor capability to essentially hack the outcome of the U.S. election. As you said, President Obama's pulled that document before it has not been pulled. And the next day after they pulled that document, Obama called a National Security Council cabinet meeting to discuss how Russia interfered with the election. Again, this is.
Let me slide in for a second, y'all. Appreciate this super chat. I see through you. I see through you says, stopping by to show love, my brother. Once again, I see through you. Appreciate this super chat. Mel, you want to slide in or you want me to let it run a little bit more?
Yeah, I would. Before you do that, I was going to ask you a question. And for any other YouTube content creators in the chat, could you tell me how YouTube works?
Be more specific.
Okay, I'll be specific. So I'm going to go specific to once you become a content creator. I'm not interested in it. I'm just trying to. I want to touch on something for a moment, and this is a really good time to think about that. But so as a content creator, you create your YouTube channel, and then you have to have 100 followers in order to go live, right?
I think it's 50.
Then
I think it's down to 50 now.
okay, 50. That's interesting. Okay, so we'll just say 50. So now you're creating your content, and so your content, and you're building your little channel, and now everything is based off views. Is that correct?
It depends on the content creator and how you look at it. And the reason why I say that is because, okay, now when it comes to views, the views can be for you to attract subscribers. Okay, let's say if you got 10,000 views on this video, 30,000 views on that video, naturally that's going to attract the subscribers with the more views you have.
Okay. So just not even a particular channel. So when we think about just the national news that we watch every day, 2, 6, 9, 12, whatever it is in your city, all of those channels, regardless if they're bringing you the same news but in a different sense, it's all about viewership. Is that correct?
Correct.
So the more viewership you have, then you have your ratings, and then either way, the more people that's watching comes, it brings in more money, maybe due to ads, promotion, all that different things. All that's it entail, right?
Correct.
So now in this day and time, there are more people on social media than there are watching just the regular TV news.
Correct.
So that's why a lot of those stations now will give you that same content through their station's YouTube channel because they had to compete, right?
Correct.
So basically, you have national news media, like I say, your regular channels, see, and then moving on into CNN, NBC, and so on and so forth, that are all competing in the market, but you have your social media platforms, i.e., YouTube, and I'm just going to use YouTube, and I use TikTok because the what you cover on YouTube, you rarely see some of those stories on TikTok. TikTok is on a whole nother level when it comes to news, and you know that because I share a lot of stuff with you. But I'm saying that to say this: we take this story here, and you just think, okay, oh, okay, this is going on, going on. Oh yeah, you know what? This is a great time to release that. Okay, so now just think about the average YouTube, and what leads me to this question is because I was listening to Miss Parker's demonstration earlier on the replay, and I stopped it in the middle of her demonstration when she said she was covering a story from Canada, and it just popped up, in her, so she could see, it popped up on YouTube, so she grabbed it. And I thought to myself, not more so with this story, because this is still be a competition between, national media and social media. But when she said that, I said, wow, because I listen to you guys cover a lot of stories, and then I also hear you guys say, but you know what, it's not, or you, it's not a lot of information about this, or someone to be in your chat say, well, I live in that city, I'd never heard this story. Is it to the point where now, everything is viewership and everything is about dollars and cents? Is YouTube trying to become the national media guru, the leader in our media? And if all of the stories that we hear real or fake, we can go through a lot of times about different stories we hear, and we always say, oh, that don't make no sense, and why did they do that, and all of this different stuff. And I'm wondering, is all this stuff being created because YouTube really is like really, really big? And so they say, okay, well, you create your channels. What kind of information you covered? Okay, I'm going to make sure this kind of information gets in your algorithm. Like I can see some channels that start at 32, 35, 40. They may have 40 members, and 2 weeks later, they have like 1,500 members.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you guys are following me with this.
I'm with you.
You with me? And
Uh-huh.
I'm just really, really curious about because in the past, a lot of things that was talked about on YouTube. Like, look what we talked to Shanquella. We talked about Shanquella 2 years, right? Almost 2 years. But it was never outside of her hometown. It never made it national for a long period of time. It was just like somebody may have made a mention of it. It was okay. No, her story wasn't mentioned nationally, but on YouTube we covered it every 7 days a week for 2 years, all nighters. We did it all.
Mm-hmm.
I just find it interesting. But this story right here is also interesting. And in lieu of the things that's going on, I want you to just keep playing it because I just want to hear some more of it. Because to be honest with you, I came in just now, so I didn't really hear what was going on. But you don't have to start over. I can just pick up.
All right. Salute to the chat. I see everybody down there. Salute everybody. I will come into the chat, entertain the chat. Just give me a minute.
This is the first
This
week
is
of December.
9th,
President
right?
Trump had already won. Correct.
This is the December 9th meeting.
That's exactly right. The December 9th meeting, we declassified and released what they call the summary of conclusions from that meeting. Then DNI James Clapper took the lead on what President Obama wanted done, and which was essentially create a document that tells us not if, but how Russia interfered with the election. President Obama delivered the conclusion that he wanted the intelligence community to reach and directed them to find and essentially create and manufacture the intelligence to support the conclusion that President Obama wanted to deliver to the American people. Once that document was drafted, the deep state kicked into gear and did what they usually do. They started leaking this classified information out to their friends at the Washington Post and others who are working hand in glove with the deep state to lay the groundwork for the assessment that they eventually released that served as the basis once again for this years-long coup with the goal of trying to subvert the American people's will and usurp President Trump from being able to deliver on the mandate that the American people gave to him when they chose to elect him as president of the United States.
So you had career intel people that came to a conclusion that, in fact, Russia did not interfere, that it had no impact, and they didn't like the assessment. And they have this meeting with President Obama at the time, and they make the decision, a very conscious decision, to pervert real intelligence, turn it into phony intelligence, but also simultaneously something else was happening. And James Comey, for example, was warned about the Russian disinformation dossier that was paid for by Hillary Clinton. He was warned not to trust it, but it became the bulk of information for not one, but 4 separate FISA warrants, ruined Carter Page's life, but also backdoored an ability for them to spy on President Trump, candidate Trump, and transition team Trump. Nobody was ever held accountable for that either. Now, to me, it sounds like you have appointed powerful bureaucrats that just flat out created a narrative that was false to undermine a duly elected president. Now, if that's not a grand conspiracy, I don't know what would be. Do you see crimes here?
Before I let it go, exactly what is going on here? What is they trying to get Obama on? And can he be actually charged with it? I'm just going to let everybody meditate on that. I mean, is it some BS coming from Trump, or could Obama be brought up on these charges? Big Mama says they know what all happened. Lies, all lies. They are liars, and Trump is no good. Lexington says that's coercion by Obama. Drop a 1. Drop a 1 if y'all agree with Lexington. Drop a 2 if you disagree. EJ says Obama is already under in the hot seat right now. Now, I will say that Obama's name has been popping up. His name has been popping up. So we're going to spend this time in this demonstration chopping it up about Obama.
You're
Ms.
right,
Cookie
Shane, but
says,
why? Why is his name all of a sudden popping up? This is insane.
and 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 let me just say this. Ms. Cookie says, leave that man alone. Let me just say this now. I haven't done my homework on it. Of course, I will definitely do my homework to get to the bottom of this. And I feel like if they don't got no case against the man, leave the man alone. Don't crucify him. We've seen it so many times. We've seen this play so many times. They can't get you. They don't have nothing on you. Let me backtrack. They don't have nothing on you. So they create a bunch of BS to, if not send you to prison, at least to ruin your reputation. Shell says Trump is throwing a rock and hiding his hands. Salute Splash. TT
I
says
don't think.
this is the flip, the narrative, deflect what's really going on out here. May the Flower says they've been wanting to discredit Obama. Big Mama says it's all about Hillary's emails, her assistant emails that came out the weekend before the election, then said nothing was founded and she lost. Trump said Russia find those emails. I'm sick of Trump. I'm getting ready to come to you, Mel. Give me a minute. Nikki says, what more is miserable about this man? Shaking my head. TT says, ban, there you go. Shalonda says, facts, TT. You want to slide in, Mel?
I think we're still getting back to the same narrative. There's, to me, there's somebody that's pulling the strings on all of this, on everything that's happening in this country. There, I, I, I don't know. This is just crazy to me. Like that was 8 years ago. Why are we thinking about something from 8 years ago? Did it hurt anybody?
Nope.
What's going on right now? It is what it is, and at the end of the day, there nobody could stop this direction. And I think that the people that make the most money is the people that's been affected by the terror the most. So I mean, it's crazy because I've been hearing things about it's possible that Obama might try to run again, and I'm like, you know, this country is just so turned upside down. And the thing about it is, it's because it was created so long ago, before you know, before I was born, before you was born, probably before most of our chat was born, but it was created so long ago. Division was created in the United States of just the regular people. And I was listening to somebody today on a sports podcast. I was talking about on a previous job that he had in a hospital, and he was responsible for, getting people assistance when they have high hospital bills.
Mm-hmm.
And the people were Amish. And when he went in to speak with them about, because the bill was really, really high, and they had a very sick child, um, they declined any federal government assistance because they help each other. So
Right. Right.
basically, he was saying whatever his family didn't have, the people in their community are all going to chip in.
Right. Right.
Now they may repay them in services like maybe help that man farm his land the next farm season, or the wife may help the other wife knit, things that they, sell amongst themselves, but they help each other. This country is so divided because we have so many different, it is a melting pot of so many different cultures, but you have cultures, and no disrespect to anybody in the chat, I just trying to make an example. You have Chinese, Korean, Philippine, Puerto Rican, African, Jamaican, Haitian, Crucians, Italians, whatever. And they all come here and build their own communities, but they are still referred to as Italians, Haitians, Jamaicans, Crucians, Africans. You feel me?
That's true.
But when you look at the black community and the Caucasian community, it's just black and white, which they always like to refer to white not being a color. So the people that's supposed to be the founders of this country, but we know differently, they're divided in a country where they've allowed other cultures to come over and still live as their culture. Even though they live amongst us, they move within their cultures. They support their cultures. And all the while, we are here just scrapping. We're fighting each other. We're fighting them. We're fighting them. But the biggest part is we're fighting each other. We're trying to beat you to the finish line. Nope. We're all crabs in the bucket. Everybody want to be, instead of just being who you are and moving like that. But it's jealousy, it's hate, it's disrespect. We're disrespected because that's the way it's culture. The message has already been sent. It's just, when does this all come together? But we still got all these politicians and former politicians all coming out with top secret documents. What? Show us 40 acres of mule. Show us that document. It's like, it's insane. That was 8 years ago. Why are we talking about some top secret declassified document from 8 years ago? Why are we talking about a coup from, now they're saying Obama there was trying to form a coup. Then they say Trump was formed a coup. Then they say it was the insurrection, but this crazy part about it is in the U.S. Constitution, it states that if the people feel that the government is not operating correctly, they can take over the government. That's an insurrection.
And you're right, Mel.
Go ahead.
Now, let me read a few comments from the chat, and then I'm going to let my guest, Ted, come in. Give me 1 second, Ted. I'm going to let you come in. Lexington says Obama.
I appreciate it.
Lexington says Obama is the one who started. You can use propaganda in court cases. Miss Cookie says, don't quote me on it, but I think that he stated on Michelle's podcast that every black boy needs a transformer man in their life. He has been in the hot seat since then. A voice of reason says they want you to see the black man to have held the highest position be faced with criminal charges. Shalonda says, oh Lord. Bree says, if truly, why isn't it on Google's? I'm coming. Shell says, right. Gigi says, facts, Mel, and it's not Trump. It's the higher ups. Look, it's all behind. I'm going to grab a couple more. TT says that orange man, no, he's in them files and some more ish. They already went through the Rolodex and found the pics with a minor. That was at least 15. Nick says Obama is done with the crap show, Mel. I don't think it's enough money in the world to convince him. Let me let my guest Ted slide in. Salute, brother. How you feeling?
I appreciate that, bro, man. I'm good, man. I do a news channel, whatever. But the point that I was trying to come up here and make with y'all is that this been going on for years, but in the black community, we missed this story. When Trump first got elected, all this information came out. If you look at, Tulsi Gabbard is just being elected. She is the new person in the office. But if you look at the actual story, this story is an old story. Y'all missed it though. The meeting was between Biden was at the meeting. Biden ran his mouth at the meeting. That story came out already because it was a story about Biden, Obama, and his security people where Obama told them to start the Russia thing. So what they was doing was trying to gather as much information as they could about the Russia thing, because they was trying to do everything they could to discredit Trump. They knew it was a lie. They knew it was nothing there. It's just like this. If it's a girl out there that I don't like, but I know good and well I can't smear her up online, but what I can do is read comments and different quotes from other people smearing her up. Now,
Right.
legally, I can't do it because I don't have the proof, but I could
Right.
read where Saint Rock said that this lady is a Jezebel. And you know
Right.
what I'm saying? I could go on and on about it like that. That's how they tried to smear Trump up with the Russia investigation. It was all a hoax. There was nothing never there. The people testified in Congress, in the Senate, and in the House. They said it so. And this story is an old story. Trump wasn't able to prosecute Obama or Biden because of Bill Barr. The attorney general wouldn't pursue the case. The information was there that they all was behind it. The deep state was behind this. The only thing that happened now, you see Comey and Brennan name that came back up because the statute of
Hey,
limitations
I
ran out.
cut you off.
But hold on. Let
Can
me
I
let me
ask you a
land this right
question?
quick. Let me land this right quick, and then I answer your question. I'm sorry. The statute of limitations ran out where you can't pursue these cases no more. That was their whole play. That's why they drug out the Mueller report to run out the statute. But in the law, it states that if you illegally withheld or withhold evidence, then the statute is timed out. So what happened was Dan Bongino and Cash Patel of the FBI found a room in the FBI office that was locked and it was full of hidden information. So now the statute has been suspended and now they can reopen the cases. Y'all pay attention. They about to reopen these cases and get to the bottom of who started this whole fake hoax on Trump and why they tried to lie and get him out of office. Go ahead with your question. I'm sorry about that. Saint Rock, I appreciate you for letting me get that out, man. But
Yes,
my
sir.
main point is that this is an old story that we hadn't been paying attention to. And we have to start at the beginning to brief the people on what happened from the beginning so they can catch up on the story.
Let me
Because
ask you a
without the
question.
beginning, you'll never know. Go ahead, ma'am.
Is that why Trump fired Comey?
Exactly. See, okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly. I just ran that story yesterday on my page. What happened with Comey was Comey did exactly what I just explained about the text message. Saint Rock say something about this lady that I don't like. Then I can't say it, but I can repeat what he said. So what Comey did was it was a document called the Steele dossier. It was written by a man named Steele. He wrote some bull crap about Trump in there, put it out, but when nobody cover it because they knew it was false, no
Mm.
news outlets would cover it. So what Comey did was he went and told Trump about it. Then he made notes about his meeting with Trump, leaked that to the paper. So what did the paper do? Comey tells Trump about the Steele dossier. Now everybody can report on what? The Steele dossier and all the
Mm.
fake allegations in it. But they covered themselves by saying these are unproven, but this is what's in it. Pay attention. This is how they did it. This is how they actually operate. That's why they are called the fake news media. This is why. Back in the day, it was a thing called Project Mockingbird, where the CIA infiltrated the news media and put agents actually working for news outlets, the newspapers, and on television. Like somebody said in the comments, Obama opened it up where now you can propaganda on American citizens. At first, you could not use propaganda in America, which means that the government could not lie to you. But now, with Obama changing the law, the government is allowed to lie. So they
Mm.
go on TV and literally lie. But when they go to Congress and have to raise their right hand, they tell a different story. Everybody was on the news telling you that Trump was a Russian agent. When they went and testified, they said they had no information. Y'all gotta pay attention. Comey was the main one. Comey was so
Okay.
slimy, man. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So now let's tie this all again. Let's tie this all
Mhm.
together.
And I'm
His
not trying to
daughter,
convict Obama without no evidence now. I'm just giving y'all the stories and the facts. And then we're gonna
right?
follow the story as it go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so let's tie this all again together.
Hmm.
Now his daughter was the main prosecutor for Diddy. She
Okay,
just got fired.
let me take it from there. Okay, when Diddy was just like Epstein. He was running a blackmail scheme. He is controlled, and they got tapes on all the higher ups, and they used that to blackmail them, to get money, to make them do the things that they want them to do. Everybody was at the Diddy parties. Everybody was at the Epstein party. They used Comey's daughter to run the case to keep all the other names out of it. So if you pay attention to the Diddy case, the only parties they talked about was private Diddy parties with him, Cassie, and the sex workers. What about all the other parties? There were other parties, but they didn't talk about those parties because they would have brought other names involved: judges, politicians, executives. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? That's why Comey's daughter was there to keep the case narrow. She did her job for the deep state, and then Trump fired her afterwards, because how would it look if he fired her before? He couldn't.
So
They had already made
their
their
goal
play.
was to get those tapes and stuff out of Diddy's house. That's what they got in the
That's why
raid.
they did it before, Trump got in office. Because Trump, look, hate it or love it, Trump is an American. He gonna play the game the way it go. If you doing wrong, your ass is in the fine line. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? Your neck is in the noose if you doing wrong. If you ain't doing nothing, it ain't nothing. But if you're doing wrong, your neck going in that noose. So with Trump being the head of the investigation, he was gonna hire somebody who's gonna really do it. Pay attention. What's her name? Judge Piro. She's from Fox News. She just got hired as a U.S. attorney. She about to start going after people. She don't play no games. She about to start going after people. They done tricked us for so long with this left-right dilemma, and it screwed up the black man. Because Malcolm X said at the time, get something for your vote in return. We don't get nothing for our vote and our support to the Democrat Party. I'm not a Democrat, but I'm talking about us as a people. We don't get nothing for our support for them. Every 4 years, they come around our communities and to our churches and stuff and sell us on, oh, the white man is going to put you back in chains. And that's what you go vote on. But everybody else pay attention. They give them money. They make sure the money flow back to them. You mean to tell me we've been sitting here all this time and you giving illegals hotel rooms, cell phones, debit cards, and y'all out there talking about ICE is doing wrong? Man, y'all get out them streets and go get you a job. Leave that stuff alone. Let ICE go get them people. That's not our fight. Don't let them tie us into that. That's not our fight, because what y'all not paying attention to, the same people that y'all trying to save, is the same people that's getting all the money. They not telling you where the money at. Ain't now Mexican walked up to you and told you, look, they got debit cards and cell phones over here, but they telling each other though.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? And I ain't and when we talk like this, bro, they try to say we're racist. I'm an American. I ain't no racist. I'm an American. Just like Trump is an American, you don't say he a German American. You don't say Bush is a French American. You just call them Americans. Well, that's what I am. I'm an American citizen. I'm different from every man on the planet that look like me. It's a man in China look just like me. It's a man in Mexico look just like me. But they not Western. They not American. They didn't have this experience. You know what I'm saying? They ain't hip hop. They not this right here. We totally different. We need to wake up and pay attention. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Obama situation concerned, it's a video out there. It explains the whole thing. It's been going on for years. This is old information, but it's still relevant because of what I told you about Comey and Brennan. They found them papers that they hid fraudulently. So now the statute of limitations is up. We can go back and investigate these cases. They're going to have to get lawyered up. They're going to have to get lawyered up.
Do you know where I can find that video at that you just said that it was already out?
Okay. If you, it's not a video of the meeting, but okay, let me say this. They shadow ban a lot of stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? It might be old. It might be hard to find, but in the Wayback Machine, you can find it definitely. But I'm going to get, I think Valerie Jarrett, that's one of the names you're going to need. Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and it's a meeting where they're actually discussing the firing of what was the general name? You remember Trump?
The one he got rid of?
Yes, they tricked him into getting rid of that general. That man ain't did nothing wrong. They tricked him into getting rid of him, but that was the meeting was about right there. And they talked about it during the last election. I'm surprised y'all missed it. But yeah, they talked about it. Anyway, I can't think of the other lady name, but yeah, Valerie Jarrett is definitely one of them. Obama, Biden, I want to say Comey was there because he the FBI director. Brennan was probably there because he the CIA director. Clapper, I'm not sure if Clapper was there because he was DNI at the time. I'm not sure if he
Flynn.
was there.
Flynn
Michael
is
Flynn, there you go. There you go. If you start with the Flynn investigation and you backtrack your way, you're going to get to that meeting some kind of way. It's documentations of that meeting. Matter of fact, what's her name said she just put it out. Tulsa Gabbard, that's what your clip was about. She is talking about this meeting that I'm referencing. She put out the actual minutes of the meeting where Obama did the snake shit, really. Instead of saying, did Russia interfere in the election? He was trying to get them to show him how they did.
right.
You see what I'm saying? So with that, that's the smear right there. Now you can smear it and say, what are they hiding? What are they holding over Trump's head? But if you pay close attention, the actual news broadcasters, the people that was actually running the shows, the what's the lady name on MSNBC? Whatever. Those people, they won't actually say it. They'll just pose the question and let the goofball guests come up here and say it. CNN do the same thing. Ashley Phillips, she won't say nothing directly out her mouth because she knows she can get sued and she know that station gonna get sued. So she'll pose the question and let the goofball guests say everything. And they talk reckless, bro. They talk reckless. You know what I'm saying? Because they whole thing is Putin got something on Trump. Ain't no news outlet gonna print that without no information. But they'll put it all over your TV screen, and that's why it's in your mind now that Trump worked with Russia. Because
Right.
they implied it, inferred it all over the news.
Right.
But with no real journalists outright say it. So the question, that's why they got rid of Tucker Carlson, because Tucker posed the question, do you have any evidence? Where's the evidence? That's why no Democrats come on Fox News, because they get asked direct questions. It's just like being on YouTube, bro. Me and you can sit up here in politics, but at any minute, you could just drop me off the pounder.
Right.
So that's what the left been used to doing. They used to be controlling panels and controlling the narrative. Now somebody else control the narrative. They can't go over there and talk because they're going to get asked direct questions. Ain't no more games being played. That's how we actually became stronger than them in this field right here. This is an art form. This conversation field, this style of debating and conversation, it's an art form. And we became better at it by being with them so long, with them dropping us out panels, blocking us, and all that stuff. We had to learn how to get our points out quicker. We had to be wittier. And then we had to make sure we came with the facts.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because we could be challenged on everything we said, but they could just get away with saying anything.
Right.
Before you let me come up, you was reading stuff out your chat, and I was over here going nuts. Hey, Shank, man, I really appreciate it, bro. I watched your show. It's the first time I decided to go ahead and hit your panel, and I really appreciate it, man. For real.
I appreciate you. Let me just slide in for a second. Let me slide before you leave. I really appreciate you. And I drop your link. Make sure everybody subscribe to the brother Ted Turner. I drop your link. Make sure everybody subscribe to the brother Ted Turner. It's like a refreshing when we speak on politics as well as other topics and we know what we're talking about.
Facts.
And the jewels that you just dropped, you definitely knew what you was talking about. So thank you. And don't let this be your last time up here, because I'm going to come looking for your funky ass.
Man, I appreciate it, Shank. Look, man, whenever you get a chance, pop up on me. and we'll set up some kind of time where I can actually
Okay.
interview you on my show, because I would love
Okay.
for the people to meet you, bro.
Okay, I appreciate you. I subscribe to you. And once again, make sure everybody subscribes to the good brother, Ted Turner. Before we leave, Mel, is it anything you want to ask him?
Your mic out, Mel, if you're talking, babe.
Any last words before you get out of here, brother?
Yeah, if is it any questions in the chat right quick? I answer a couple questions out the chat right quick. I got you,
Okay.
bro.
Do anybody in the chat have any questions for the brother?
While you looking up that, man, I'm a red, white, and blue American, man. I'm a true blue. I know this our homeland, and I'm not gonna let them steal it away from us.
Right. And
You know
look,
what I'm saying? I know our people sleep right now, but we waking up slowly but surely. We waking up slowly but surely. It's
Mhm.
podcasts like this, it's conversations like these, and you know what I'm saying? Eventually, you know what I'm saying, we'll awaken up out our slumber and take our rightful place in our homeland, this country right here.
That's right. For so long, we've been programmed to believe that we came over on them ships, not knowing
Right.
that we were already here. Now, some of us did come over by way of boat.
Exactly. Some of us did, and don't think that all of us was slaves at one time. We was free people, man. Some
Bingo.
of us were enslaved, but we were free people, man. Don't go for the hype, man. We was not all enslaved people. We are not all descendants of slaves, man. We were free people, man. For real. But at the same time, they gonna treat me and you as if we was a descendant of a slave. So when them checks come, make sure y'all get in line.
Right. Hey, can you see the panel? I got a question for you from Lexington. How you feel about BlackRock and other entities?
It ain't no different than anything else that was created. We need to get our own going. What they talking about BlackRock, that's a investment group, and they invest and they make things happen for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock it. They playing the game the way the game go. We need to start a Shank Rock investment group and
Yep.
start investing in our neighborhoods and our local communities until we can get bigger and invest internationally.
Yep. That's
You see what I'm
fact.
saying? We
That's
need to
fact.
stop sitting around hating on what everybody else doing or complaining about it. Peep the game and let's just move forward. Why in the world it ain't a black bank? That's preposterous to me. You know what I mean? A black owned bank. And I ain't talking about with no barbecue grills and nobody smoking weed on the inside. Just a regular bank, a regular bank. You know what I'm saying? And then all the way you go put your money in and we can get busy. You know, we can start our own airline. It ain't got to be soul plane. It can be just like they thing, but it's just all black.
That's
You
facts.
know what I mean? We try to start something, but then we want to do it with a hood twist. We don't have to
That's
do it
fact.
with the hood twist. That's why I appreciate you giving me this opportunity, bro. Because on my show, I'm on there with my shirt and tie on behind my microphone, doing my thing, bro. For real. I'm literally doing my thing.
That's
You know what
good.
I'm saying? And I appreciate it, bro. I really do, Shane. I'm going to get out of here, man, because I know I'm a little long-winded, but I appreciate the opportunity. Oh, there go Mel.
Shane, can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I had got a call, so sometimes it'll knock out my speaker. But
Okay.
I'm listening to everything you say, so I tie in other things, that is kind of, it's obvious, but everybody don't see. So I forgot, but it's all was what you were talking about. So, and I've said this before on this platform to Shane. Lamar and Samuel L. Jackson were the messengers. If you got it, you got it. But tied in with Donald Trump and the owner of YouTube both being at the Super Bowl. So basically, I was talking to Shank earlier about, like, you notice how YouTube, because Miss Parker was saying that, oh, this story just came up in my thing, and we never heard about this. She was talking about the missing black boys in Canada. And I was listening to her, and I paused that, and I text Shank, like, you busy? Because when she said that, I wanted to know how YouTube worked. YouTube is using y'all content creators to get information to the people. When Kendrick
Facts,
Lamar
facts.
said turn the TV off, they meant that because that news that we're getting is not the full story. So they're feeding the story to YouTube, and the YouTube content creators is doing all of the investigating, and along with all of the millions of other smart people, the subscribers that's on YouTube, we're able to talk and work our way to bring light of all of this stuff that's been going on in this country forever. Forever. Everything was created in this country. Racism was created. How do we erase that? It's going to take people coming together.
Yes,
But at the
ma'am. It's
end of the
it's a
day,
each one teach one mentality.
mm,
And like I say, we starting to wake up now. And with programs like this and dialogues like this, it's gonna help because your consciousness and your unconscious mind are two different things, and they work simultaneously with or without your knowledge. So just by Shank allowing, what I'm saying, us to have this platform and this time to put the truth out there, your conscious and your unconscious mind gonna work together to decipher it for you, and you're gonna start searching out this information on your own. You're gonna start seeing it and peeping it. I really gotta go right now, Shank. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Mel. I really appreciate it, bro.
I appreciate you, brother. We'll
you're
get up.
welcome. Thanks for the
It's
great
Ellenwood
insights.
Studios TV. We report the news.
All right,
Thank
I
you,
got
sir.
you. I dropped your link. Appreciate you. Mel, any last words before we get out of here? Because I'm gonna do my homework. I want to gather. I gathered up everything that he was saying, you were saying, and the chat was saying. So I'm gonna do my homework. Any last words before you get out of here, Mel?
No, the light bulb just comes on brighter, just based off that information he provided. You see how we did into that.
Yep.
We
Yep.
knew it was something bigger. They came for them tapes.
Yep.
They came for the videos.
Let Uncle Charlie slide in. He always come with a bombshell. Salute, Uncle Charles.
What's up? What's up? What's up, family? How y'all doing, man?
All right now.
Listen, let me say this. It was we didn't have anything. We didn't have anything. Well, we don't have no food stamps. We don't have no programs for you. But when the border got overflowed and the immigrants came over, oh, they had all the money in the world, new cars, a place to stay, $900 worth of food stamps. I thought you didn't have these things. Let me explain something to you. Black people, we deserve our reparations. We deserve our reparations. The Indians got theirs. The Jews got theirs. They getting over $240 million a year. And the Jews ain't did nothing for us. Nothing. We want our money. We want our money. I don't care how the hell you gotta get it fixed up. They go to talking about, well, it's a shame you bring the immigrants over and they separated from each other. Well, then what the hell happened to us when we came in on the slave boat? We were
Mm,
separated.
mm,
What about all the costs that we went through? Okay? See nobody out there picking no hot ass cotton out there right now. Huh? But then again, you don't give a damn. You rather use them and push us back. Well, guess what? If you even had a plan, you had all these plans for us to crumble as a people. We done been burned, we done been shot, we done been locked up, we done been everything. And guess what? We still here. Why? Because we're not going anywhere. Because God said the bottom shall rise to the top. It ain't
mm.
nothing about it. Nothing. You want our melanin? How we get it? That's why you're all out in the sun, cooking yourself to death. You better stop that. Because they might find you out there looking like a piece of chicken, fried piece of chicken out there in that sun. The only people that carry that gene is us. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? You want flush lips and broader arms and all that. Sorry, God didn't give it to you. He gave it to us. He gave us something that you will never get. So I don't know what you being upset with us anymore. See, we tired of being the cattle. We're tired of being the herd. Go this way, go that way. And no matter what you do, somebody is going to sell out. Because that's the way it is. You know why they're going to sell out? Because that's why you had the house Negro and then you had the field Negro. Somebody else going to sell out. He has it better than the one out there in the field out there, but you're still eating slop. You ain't no better than the one out there in the field. You ain't no better. You're just killing yourself more longer. That's all. I am tired of us being the joke and the punchline of every joke. And I'm going to tell you something. I got nothing against my Mexican brothers and sisters. God loves all. Jesus loved the little children, all the children of the world, whether they red, black, or white. But the thing is that you don't get to sit here, and we've been here this whole time. Do I want to go to Africa one day and see my homeland? Of course. But I don't want to stay there. I don't want to stay in no Africa. It's hot enough as it is over here. So ain't no way in hell I want to go over there. So that's what I'm saying. I just want to get, because I know you was finna shut it down. We need our reparations. And I say I might not see it. A lot of us may not see it, but maybe my granddaughter might see it. But we want our reparations. And no, it's not an option. Not an option. Do you hear me? That guy there and killed those Asians down in that brothel. They call it a massage parlor. You know what the hell it is. It's a damn brothel. He went down and killed all them Asian people in there. And guess what? He ran his senile ass on up in that White House office and signed an anti-Asian bill. He signed an anti-Asian bill. Here it is. Negroes are getting shot by police saying you got a gun, but you got a bullet wound in the back and all this stuff. We go through all that. But this is why I say, hey, you got a queen by your side, you got a king by your side. Y'all stick together no matter what. Stick together, because let me tell you something. This world is not getting well; it's getting sick, and more sicker every day. So we gotta stay on cold, black people. We gotta stay on cold. We don't sit in the front row and say, "Yeah, man, shoot, man, he in trouble now." Well, guess what? Maybe you should have been the one that's warning him. Maybe you should be the one that said, "Man, don't do that." But no, you'll sit back and watch your brother get canned. You don't care. It is what it is. And that's all I had to say. I'm sorry I came late. I just caught you. I just got in from dinner. And I just called you. Man, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Uncle Charles. You could take as much time as you need,
Yes.
But the thing is, Shane, every day I walk out the door, my first thing is thinking about the police stopping me in my car. That's my first thought. Not what I'm going to get at the grocery store. Not picking my children up, my grandkid up from school. I'm thinking about a police pulling up and pulling behind me, asking me questions when I ain't did a damn thing. This is a black man's worry. This is what we are. See, we're held to a different standard. A white man can go on killing all day, and they say they want to study his brain. But you kill somebody, and they're going to study your ass. That's what they're going to do. They're going to study you and see how long you're going to be able to stay behind them bars. This is what they're going to do to you. See, you don't get those privileges. You don't get those privileges. They knew Jeffrey Dahmer was eating people. He was eating people left and right, and they knew this. And they knew it. And they waited till he ate a couple more folks, and then they went on, picked them up, and said, "Man, you eat this, yeah, I ate them." And all of a sudden, this guy got a movie. He got a book deal. Now he dead now, but look what all he got: a movie, a big deal, a book deal, and people reading and going to the movie, seeing him eat black folks. Really? Is this where we going with this now? It's a shame, because we ain't got nothing but freaks running around here, all the way up there to the big leagues, all the way up to the White House. Freaks. He went up there. Joe Biden went up there to celebrate the war. World War II veterans. He gets out the car, he get out, he don't even know where the hell he at. Then he get up there and he don't mess on himself. Now, you just got here, now you got to go back to the car. And you might well go home, because ain't nobody can clean you out there in that car. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is what I'm saying, y'all. Black people, we've been fighting the fight ever since we come off the boat. And you wonder why hurricanes and tornadoes come out the ocean out there. Now that hurricane will come out all the way up and go up the eastern shoreline, all the way up to Canada, and it stops. Why? because Canada never had slaves.
Wake
That's
us
why they
up.
don't get tornadoes. This
Wake
is
us
what it
up.
is. When you was dying, we had women on that boat having babies. Having babies. And if you was at least a little bit sick, what did they do? They didn't try to get you well, but they wrapped your ass up in a blanket and threw you in the ocean because you weren't no good no more. We've been dealing with this ever since we came off the boat. And they tell white people all the time, they tell them all the time, they say, look, you can go to Africa, but you got to stay away from the roaming animals. Well, you know, white folks don't listen. And they going on out there anyway, and they get all their stuff took by baboons. And yeah, but tell you what, go write up a police report on that and get your clothes back and see what happened. This is not a game out here, y'all. I love my people. I just want us to be happy. I want us to be able to take care of our families and our kids. But somebody in that family ain't gonna act right. Somebody in that family ain't gonna do right. And we need to stay on code when it comes to that. I'm not gonna sit back no more and be quiet. You come to me and ask me how I feel, I'm sure hell gonna tell you. Because this is what we going through every day. All we want to do is raise our children, achieve the American dream, and do what we're supposed to do as people, as our people. But no, I was on the phone with Al Sharpton on the show. He got mad at me. I said, Rem, if all what you're saying is true, how come Trump won the election? That's all I want. You go back and come back and you tell me. I ain't got to tell you a damn thing. The election over. I ain't got to tell you nothing. That question you need to ask Donald Trump. That's what you need to ask. Because don't ask me. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't trust none of them up there. I found out here's the White House. And then I found out they got bedrooms up under the White House. What the hell that doing up under there? All these freaks. This world is stricken about freaks. This is about freaks and stuff. We talking about neighborhoods, communities. We talking about black on black crime. I don't want to talk about who somebody was messing with somebody's child or somebody up in a room with somebody that looked like them. I don't want to hear that mess because that ain't no some devil stuff. That's devil stuff, y'all. Let me tell you something. I love being black. I'm a black man. I got a black wife and I got black children, and I don't want it any other way. That's the way it's gonna be. Woo, I love it. But the thing is that they want what you get. They don't took my freedom. They took the clothes on my back. They took all my finances, and now you want to take my ass, and I ain't finna give it to you. And that's the way I feel about it. This is why Shank Show is very important, because you get to lay it on the table, and then you might be a little bit riled up, but after you settle down and re-listen to the show, you knew where he was going with this show. So hey man, I congratulate you on you being that brother that standing out there. Because let me tell you something, some of us brothers, we ain't thinking right. And we tired of the system. We tired of it. And when a brother like you come on, we hear you now, okay, now let's think how to win this war without using our fists, without using our hand. And it starts with your pockets. See? We had that, y'all, but they wanted integration. And when they incurred integration, we stopped going to the black hotels. We stopped going to the mom and pop stores. They end up closing. And now we go to the white man hotel. We go to the white man best hotel in the world. And we eat at his restaurants. And guess what? He got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 worth a generation of money. So nobody in that family gonna be broke. It is what it is. It is what it is. Listen, they say we like to play games, but do you know how to play the real game? See, that's the problem. Can you play the real game? Once you learn that, I don't think nobody gonna mess with you. Running around here, all these freaks. I'm hearing all these reports, going over there upstairs. And then another thing too, they killed one of them in that jail. They pulled them guards off that jail thing and made them all go outside, and they let them prisoners come in there and broke his neck. Quit saying on TV that he committed suicide. You know why he didn't commit a suicide? Because he ain't had any in his damn cell to kill himself with. What you think he tied his tied his tongue around his neck? Hell no. Somebody helped him though. I can tell you that. This is not a game, y'all. This is serious. Pray tonight when you go to bed. When you get up in the morning, say another prayer. I'm going to tell you, the first person you should be talking to is God in the morning. And the way things looking, I've been talking to him a whole lot. Because, brother, when I go out here and see white folks homeless, I never, and I swear for a living God, y'all, I never thought I'd see homeless white people. But they here. There he is out there homeless. Hey, the world is changing. The world is changing. The bottom should rise to the top. It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, who want to fight this war with me? Because we're not, let me tell you something, we're not getting in no 100-degree heat and a 10-degree heat march until they want us to fall the hell out. We're not doing that. We got to start hitting them in the stores. No, we're not buying that in your store anymore. Until you treat us with respect and you start hiring some of our young people, we ain't coming back here and buying not another piece of nothing out of your store. We got to say, ain't going to be some fool going, man, shoot, I got to get some gas. You should have got gas the day before, fool. This is what I'm talking about. And, man, that's all I got to say, man. I appreciate you, man. You changed my life in a lot of ways, Shane. You got me thinking another way. See, I was angry, very angry, and then after I listened to you and all the brothers and sisters come on there and they talk, then I kind of, man, I don't even know what the hell I don't even know what the hell I was angry about. What the hell is going on here? I didn't know what I was angry, but so you took that starch out of me and made me look at life a different way. And that right there is a kudos to you, man. You did that. You are touching folks' lives. You helping people, man. Don't stop, bro. There's a lot of people going to give up. And they say, well, since it ain't going right for me, the hell with everybody else. But you didn't do that. And God bless you for that, man. You didn't do that. You see something better for us. And I see something better for you. Now, a lot of people ain't going to agree with what I said. And that's all right. That's all right. Let me tell you something. Be going down the damn road in 110-degree weather with a fly in your car you can't get rid of. And see, if he had any damn sense, when I stopped the car and went in the store, he'd have flew his ass up out of there. But he didn't. But no, I stayed in there about 30 minutes, and I knew if he didn't get out the car when I did, and I go back, it ain't number one thing that killed him. It was that damn heat. And I went on out there, he was laying in the ashtray dead. When you got a chance to make a move, make it. Make that move, okay? Don't overthink when you're trying to make a decision in your life. You want to buy a new home? Then buy it. Don't let nobody stop you from buying it. You want to open up your business account? Then do it. You ain't got to tell nobody none of that. You ain't got to tell nobody. You can, and then get you some black customers and things. But they don't want you to have that. Man, you can do it. You can be a solid assassin in this generation now. You could be buying property, all that. You own it, all that. And you ain't made not one sound. That's what we need to move. We need to move in silence. And once we do that, they'll straighten their ass up. And that's all I got to say, Shank, and I appreciate you.
All right. Once again, Uncle Charlie, appreciate you. I hope to see you tomorrow on the mental illness demonstration that I'm gonna be doing tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be 3:30?
Yeah, 3:30.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate Uncle Charlie. Appreciate Mel. Appreciate Ted. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Appreciate the chat. I do see some new subscribers down there for the first time. Make sure y'all give these new subscribers a warm welcome. Who we got? I see you, Aaron B. Make sure we give Aaron B a warm welcome. And I got one more new subscriber, Tanisha. Make sure we give Tanisha and Aaron a warm welcome. I'll leave the chat running and you all can hang around. Salute everybody, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
I do, Sean, and I'm referring all of these documents that we have found and uncovered, referring them to the Department of Justice for further investigation, accountability, and action, not just investigation, but action. Accountability has to take place. The American people's ability to have faith and trust in the integrity of our democratic republic is literally what's at stake, and therefore the future of our ability to exist as the country that we know it. This accountability is critical to make sure that this never happens again. Exposing the truth and naming those who are responsible should drive that accountability that has to take place. I just want to mention quickly, Sean, you mentioned the Steele dossier. That plays a critical role in these documents that we released, specifically because James Clapper, James Comey, John Brennan, they all knew that the Steele dossier was discredited at this point. It's not something any intelligence professional looked to as something that could be referenced or should be referenced in any intelligence assessment whatsoever. I know that there were professionals who were told include the Steele dossier in this January Obama directed manufactured piece of intelligence, and they protested to people like John Brennan and James Clapper. They were shocked that it would even be considered. The Steele dossier was used in this manufactured assessment that President Obama directed be created, along with many other pieces of intelligence that the intelligence community itself, for months leading up to the election, said this is not credible and should not be used at all.